What is up, everyone? Pastor Kenny here, and I have some news for you. Are you ready? Okay, I'm gonna need everyone watching to answer. Let's try this one more time. I said, are you ready? All right, here's my news. After 5 weeks of the wilderness with Moses and the Israelites, it's time to move to a brand new unit. Now, with a brand new big picture question and a brand new big picture answer. And the crowd goes crazy. Okay, now you may be asking, Kenny, why are you so excited about all of this? Well, here's the deal. With each new unit and each new big picture question and answer, we get to hear all new Bible stories that teach us more about God. And that's something to be very excited about. Okay, so I guess it's time for me to tell you the big picture question, which is, drum roll please, what is God like? I can tell this is going to be a good unit, and I am super excited to be teaching today's lesson. But before that, let's head over to some of our friends who will be telling us another story.
So basically, Mirabel.
Mirabel from Encanto, she was basically
is a person who apparently doesn't have a magical power, but her entire family does because
she got like a gift from her grandma,
and
out, and she was basically talking to kids, and
there was a candle that lit up, and it gave them special powers and for their family, and it gave them a moving home.
And then after she was done talking to the kids, she basically said that one of the kids said, "What's your gift to her?"
And her older sister got big strength,
and then basically
her cousin got could hear a mile away
something, and then Isabel.
They didn't even know that Mirabel didn't have a power, so they were
Mirabel saw the quacks yesterday night when
she tried, and there's someone named Bruno in her family that you don't want to talk about.
And then she saw her cracks, and then she told Louisa what's happening with the magic, she said. And then she said
she tries to go, and she talks with a lot of people, and they sing a song We Don't Talk About Bruno.
If something's happening with the magic, start with Bruno's tower, she said. And she did, and she found the vision, and
she's standing right in front of her house with all the cracks in it.
And then when she found the vision, she put it together, and then they basically said, "We don't talk about Bruno."
And later on, she finds Bruno and chases him because he actually took the
And Bruno was in the back, and he was doing a little dance with his head.
So then she finds out what's wrong, and apparently it's the house starts to crack, and then it falls apart.
And he did, and you could see my then went blah, 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 like that.
And then later on after that,
and basically when that was done, Isabel said, "I don't want a word out of you."
She ran.
And then
she went away to this lake by her town, and she was running away, and there was this butterfly just like in Bruno's vision.
They said, and then their house was fully cracked. Bruno made another vision.
And then they soon found out that actually it was
when Bruno had the vision. Mirabel had to hug Isabella,
Her grandmother that did the destruction.
and that would make the candle brighter, and then she did, and then the candle went brighter, and then it was gonna save the miracle. But then their house cracked, and then they made it again, and then they found Bruno. But
Because she wanted basically everybody to be just perfect for everything.
and that's basically it.
You spoke a word and brought the world to light. Your voice still echoes through the darkest night. I could try my best to count the stars. Nothing could compare to who you are. With you, everything is brought to light. With you, everything comes back to life. You died to make me whole. I want the world to know. With you, nothing is impossible. You called my name and told these bones to rise. And with a breath you brought me back to life. I could try and do it my own way. Jesus, I know only you can save. With you, everything is brought to light. With you, everything comes back to life. You died to make me whole. I want the world to know. With you, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. When the world is upside down, when I can't find solid ground, you turn it all around. Nothing is impossible. When I feel like I'm alone, when I'm far away from home, I know that I'm your own. Nothing is impossible. When my world is upside down, when I can't find solid ground, you turn it all around. Nothing is impossible. When I feel like I'm alone, when I'm far away from home, I know that I'm your own. Nothing is impossible. With you, everything is brought to light. With you, everything comes back to light. You died to make me whole. I want the world to know. With you, nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. With you, nothing is impossible. You died to make me whole. I want the world to know. With you, nothing is impossible.
Moses and the Israelites made their way toward the promised land of Canaan. God told Moses to send men to scout out the land. So Moses chose one leader from each family tribe. He told them to see what the land was like, and whether the people living there were strong or weak, many or few. So the 12 scouts went into the land and traveled around for 40 days. They cut down a cluster of grapes that was so big it took 2 men to carry it on a pole. Then they went back to tell Moses and the other Israelites what they saw. "The land is good. It is flowing with milk and honey," they said, But the people who live there are strong, and the cities they live in are large and well protected. Then Caleb, one of the men sent to scout out the land, spoke up. We must go up and take possession of the land. We can certainly conquer it with God's help. One other scout, Joshua, agreed with Caleb. But the other scouts disagreed. We can't go up against the people. They're stronger than we are. We look like grasshoppers compared to them. The Israelites were afraid, and they cried all night. They accused Moses of bringing them to Canaan to die. The people said, "Let's choose a new leader and go back to Egypt." Joshua and Caleb said, "The land we explored is extremely good land. If the Lord is pleased with us, he will give it to us. Don't be afraid of the people living in the land. God is with us." While the people talked, God came down to talk to Moses. "How long will these people not trust me?" God asked. God threatened to destroy all the people, but Moses urged God to forgive them. Moses reminded God that he is patient, loving, and forgiving. God said, "Since you asked, I will forgive them, but no one who complained against me will get to see the promised land." God said the Israelites would wander in the wilderness and would not enter the promised land. Only Joshua, Caleb, and the Israelites' children would one day enter the land. The Israelites did not trust God. They rebelled against him. Jesus trusted God perfectly. He came into the world to take the punishment we deserve for our own rebellion against God. When we trust in Jesus, God forgives our sins and invites us into his kingdom forever.
Have you ever seen a picture of something and thought, wow, that looks so small? And then you saw the thing in real life and realized that it wasn't small at all. Actually, you see that it was so big. Or maybe you saw a picture of something and it looked so big, but then you saw the thing in real life and realized it wasn't nearly as big as you thought it was. Actually, it was sort of small. Like this picture right here. This is a picture of the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Have you ever heard of the Eiffel Tower? From this image, does it look like a tower or does it look more like a toy? Right, it looks like a toy. But did you know that the truth is that the Eiffel Tower is 1,063 feet tall? Yeah, not a small toy at all. Actually, it's huge. The girl in the picture is probably only 3 feet, just to give you a little perspective. Okay, let's try another one. How about this image of a golf ball? Based on this image, the golf ball looks like it's a huge boulder, like the one from Indiana Jones, the 80s classic movie, or maybe you've just been on the ride. Okay, anyways, the golf ball looks like it's about to crush the person in the picture, when in reality, this is the real size of a golf ball. Not so big, right? Okay, let's do one more, just for fun. How about this image of a girl and a balloon? Based on the perspective of this picture, it would look like the balloon is huge. But in reality, it's just the angle and perspective of the picture taken. You're probably thinking, Kenny, why are we looking at all these pictures? Okay, let me explain. These are perspective tricks that sometimes they represent the way we see things in life. We see things from a different perspective, and it totally changes how we see it, even if the way we're seeing it isn't actually how things really are. Now, think about the Israelites. Now, I'm not saying that the situation that they were in wasn't difficult. I'm not saying that it didn't seem impossible from their perspective. But is it possible that they were looking at the whole situation from the wrong perspective? Remember who they had on their side? That's right, it was God. God was with them. Didn't God deliver them from the Egyptians? Didn't God allow them to pass through the Red Sea? Didn't God provide for them for years and years in the desert? God has been huge in their story. But for some reason, most of the spies were seeing their situation from a perspective of how big and scary the people in the Promised Land were. They lost their focus on God. They lost their perspective. Well, everyone but the two spies, right? Same is true of us. You might find yourself in a difficult situation, and if you focus on the problem, it's probably going to feel like an impossible problem. The challenge for you and me is this: keep your focus on God, even in the midst of a difficult situation. No matter what giant you're facing, Keep your focus on God. Sometimes the outcome, it might look different than what you thought. Sometimes God's plan is not going to be your plan, but here's what we always know, is that God's plan is holy, that He is good, and that He is loving. He's bigger than the giants in front of you. So keep your focus on Him instead of the giants.
I'm reading my Bible, and this is what it says to me. It tells me that I'm never ever alone. I'm learning how Jesus came down to us and gave His best. Without a doubt, the best friend you'll ever know. Our God knows exactly what I need, so I remember this. Let's go! When you ask, He cares. When you seek, He's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, He cares. When you seek, He's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, oh. I'm reading my Bible, and this is what it says to me. It tells me that I'm never ever alone. I'm learning how Jesus came down to us and gave His best. Without a doubt, the best friend you'll ever know. Our God knows exactly what I need, so I remember this. Let's go! When you ask, He cares. When you seek, He's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, He cares. When you seek, He's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. Oh, whoa. When you ask, He cares. When you seek, He's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, He cares. When you seek, He's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. God knows exactly what I need, so I remember this. Let's go! When you ask, He cares. When you seek, He's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. When you ask, He cares. When you seek, He's there. When you knock, 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 God opens up the door. You opened up the door. You opened up the door. Oh,
What a great story today. I love the faith of Joshua and Caleb. They were the two who kept their focus on God. It's something that can encourage every one of us. But we can also learn from those who didn't keep their focus on God. They focus on the problem, and not only that, they got all the other people to focus on the problem. This story is a good reminder to keep our focus on God and not let others take our focus off of Him. Okay, well, that's enough for this week. Join us again next week as we learn more about who God is. See you later.